Hello everyone, this is Ninja. This is episode 5 of Kerbal Space Program. Today we're gonna do a close encounter with the moon. Or, well, it's the moon of Kerbal, which is Mun. um, so, I had to kind of redo my save file a little bit because I ended up playing a bit and not recording because I was too tired at the time. I knew my talking wasn't going to be, anywhere worth listening to. So, okay. So I got to the same amount of science as before, like the same things researched, but I have a little less science than before, like to spend. But I'm pretty sure we can get a guaranteed close encounter with the Mun and come back and get a ton of science from that, like 100 something. So this should be a really successful mission. We'll all right, let's resume the save file. This is where I kind of this is the save file that you guys saw before, but I got way carried away with it and have a bunch of stuff researched, so I feel like I'd be jumping way too far ahead if I were to go back to this game. I want to kind of stick to not having anything off camera, so let's go to this one. And I have a rocket prepared for this mission. It's the Mark 1. Nothing special to the name. I don't think I'm gonna really need these. I added them because this is kind of tall, but it didn't hurt last time I used it, so let's just go with it. And I put landing struts on this thing just in case we get a little too close, and a landing would actually be better. I mean, we can't really transmit that much data though, so we'd have to just pick one thing and transmit it back, and hopefully it would be something that's worth a ton of science if we were to land on the moon. But that's not really the plan this time. I just want to get into a momentary moon orbit and then do some science, and then go out of that orbit and hopefully end up back on Kerbal safely. So let's turn on the SAS and let's throttle up the second stage. And the way I'm doing my staging is a little different than before. I'm not going to separate and then start the engine. I like to have no pause in between, because that momentary pause can actually slow you down quite a bit. And one thing I've noticed with the solid boosters is they don't like to go above the atmosphere. Like once you start to see the the red heat effects go away, these things will actually either explode or like they'll run into the other parts of your spacecraft. So adding more of these is not beneficial. I had a lot of explosions that way. Okay, let's get this thing up in the air. Staying nice and straight. I think these wings will actually help stabilize it, so it doesn't do as much turning. I mean, the south is a little bit turned away, but not too bad. And that actually puts us right back on target. Okay, I'm gonna cut the throttle when we get to about 85 1,000 meters. Okay. And once we get really close to the apoapsis, I'm going to do another burn just laterally. Oh, turned a little too far there. Okay, that should be good. And once the trajectory starts getting pretty close, that's when we burn. No need to really do the add maneuver to this. You can actually, it's actually good to do from here, I've realized. Because that way you can kind of keep an eye on your trajectory. Okay, and it's getting pretty close. So let's start the burn. And because of the staging, I'm gonna have to switch my view back when I run out of fuel with this stage right here. So we'll have to use a little bit of fuel from the third stage. Yeah, we kind of... It's not really good to be burning when you're going away from your apoapsis, but I suppose it's okay. Just aim up a little bit and it should keep you at relatively the same altitude. Okay, I'm going to turn a little straighter. Okay, getting close to orbit, there it is. And once this gets out right there, cut it, yeah. And we have over half of our fuel left, so this is good. The moon is right here. Set that as the target. Ascending node. I'm not sure exactly what these nodes mean. If that means like it's a good place to, you know, do your maneuver or something. I don't know. Let's give it a shot anyway. I kind of doubt it has any relevance. I mean, it might to, you know, where's the best place for fuel efficiency or something like that, but I don't know. With this green orbit line right here, it's you want to make that so you have like a low return apoapsis. So 49,000, that's pretty good. And we're about 4 minutes away from that. And I think this pink target right here is we're like facing the moon, I think, right now. Well, let's take a look. I can't really tell from here. Have to, yeah. We're pretty much facing it. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward. Get closer to our... Oh, it stopped my fast forward because I lost a little bit of altitude right there. I think when you're below, I think 70,000, the music stops. 43-second burn. That's not too bad. We'll have fuel left over to correct our return trip if we need to. We might have some pretty close encounter here. We'll have to watch that. Okay, once we get close, I'm going to slow the throttle down a bit. Back into space. Slow it even more. Way we can get kind of precise with this. Oh, okay. Got a little bit too far, so now we're... yeah. Sends us into a crazy sun orbit here. Kerbal escape. That means we have to burn retrograde a little bit to undo a little bit of what we did here. And let me get rid of this maneuver. Okay. Let's see what this does. Okay, we're back in. And just a little more. It's really touchy. Okay, but I don't really know exactly what we're doing when we get near the moon, though. It looks like we're doing something that's kind of dangerous. That may be a collision. This may not be a good thing here. Okay, I'm gonna slow a little bit more, just to see if it puts us in a better situation. Perhaps if we get that down a little bit more. Okay, now that's probably too low now. Okay, we'll see what happens when we get closer. See if we can change this around a little bit, avoid a collision with the planet here or the moon. And let's speed up 1,000 times. Always a little bit of lag spike right there. Usually it doesn't spike again. Oh, I see what it's doing here. Okay. We're kind of getting drawn in by the gravity and then thrown away. Hopefully this doesn't bring us back into the moon. So when we enter the moon's atmosphere, or the gravitational pull, it's going to be right there. When we escape, it's going to be right there, I think. Wait. Oh, over here. Okay, so I think we're going to be close to it, and then once we start getting too close, it's already going to be past us. Hopefully. Unless we're going to run into it coming in right here. I don't know. We'll see. In any case, it's going to be interesting. I've never done something quite like this. Ooh, yeah, that looks like a collision. Because we're just going to be hanging around here for quite some time, and the moon is coming straight for us. So we may want to change this up a little bit. Far away is at 8 minutes. Let's just get into the moon's gravity here. Okay. So now it switches around and shows us doing something different. Which is kind of strange. But I think our actual path will be the same path that it showed there, that whole squiggly thing. I don't know. But it doesn't show us colliding right here, so that should be okay. Yeah, we're well above the surface here. 192 meters, or 100,000 meters. Okay, so let's just kind of get near the periapsis for this. And once we're there, get a good visual. And let's do some science. You look down at the cold gray surface, it looks really beat up with craters. I could transmit that. I'm not sure how much charge that'll be though. Probably not worth it, because I think we will be able to land back on Kerbal, so might as well save all this instead of risking, you know, running out of electricity. We'll do an EVA. And I don't think I'm going to let go here. That's not really good though. A 16. Okay, and the cut right there is because I ran out of hard drive space and I had no idea. DxTory doesn't really give you a warning when your recording stops. You just kind of have to see the color change on the side from orange to green or whatever colors you have it set at. But luckily I took a look at the video and I didn't lose too much. Basically all you guys missed was I left the gravitational pull of the moon and headed back into this orbit. I stretched out the periapsis a little bit. Like before it was 7,000, so that's a little too close. I'd like to actually kind of let the atmosphere slow us down for a bit longer than that. So yeah, I just kind of stretched this out a little bit, and that's it. Okay, let's slow down. Not that fast though. Yeah, it's a little too much of a jump from 100 times speed to 1,000. That's a little too jumpy. Alright, so getting pretty close. Our altitude is 400. And I think it'll automatically. Well, yeah, we're going pretty damn fast. That's we're gonna bleed off a lot of that speed. I'll let the app, or actually at this point I think we should probably. No, that's okay. Because we're gonna get into the atmosphere right here, and then I'll start firing the rockets to bleed off the rest of the speed, because the atmosphere will do most of the work for us. And I think we're at the right angle now. I should lose this stage. Nothing we need to keep on there. And we're under 70,000. Tell by the music cutting off. We are still gaining speed. Okay, let's see here. When did we start? Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem once we hit right about here. But you know what? I think I am going to fire my engines a little bit here to bleed off some of the speed, bring this down a little further. Oh, yeah, I lost that stage, never mind. So now we don't actually have an option. I actually wasn't thinking about that. So hopefully the atmosphere does the job here. If not, yeah, this is the big fail. Crossing my fingers here. Okay, yeah. So the atmosphere starts about 40,000 and should start bringing this down very, very fast. Yeah, our speed's going down really fast too. Problem is, we'll start going back up once we pass this point. And we're past it. So we're actually starting to gain altitude. This needs to go down really fast. Before we start going out of the atmosphere again. Thing is, we will definitely enter the atmosphere again the next trip around. So if not this time, we'll do it the next trip around. We'll land. So maybe it'll just be one more time around. Cause yeah, I think we're out of it again. Yep. All right. So I'll just fast forward it. Okay, so we're getting on pretty close to 40,000. So we should be hitting atmosphere pretty soon again. And even though atmosphere doesn't really, you know, damage your vehicle, like the heat from it isn't going to really damage things, I still like to do it the correct way. Okay, 34, and I'm still not seeing any atmospheric effects here, so maybe it's under 30. I thought it was 35 before when we started seeing it. Oh, anyhow. Okay, now our trajectory is heading straight down, or not straight down, but it's going down. And we're now at 800 meters per second falling. Well, now 700. Took me long enough to say that. And I'll put the chute out and turn the SAS off. Now we're going to be landing in mountainous areas, so we don't have quite as much time to bleed off speed here. Hopefully this doesn't end bad. I think we're doing okay though on speed. We're bleeding off speed really fast here. Although I hope I'm not rolling down a mountain. Hopefully it's somewhat flat where we land. Oh, please don't run into the mountain. be a very disappointing end. Oh. Nice, okay. See, it opened at 25, or almost 2600. So as long as you're 500 meters away from the ground, it'll open. I wasn't too worried about that. I was just worried about the speed that we were coming in because, you know, it's a little less time you have to bleed off the speed before your chute has a chance to open. Because I have hit the ground once, but that I think was because I was in fast forward and the chute didn't open because it changes the physics around a little bit. It doesn't look like too much of a slope right here. We lucked out. Nice, okay. And you know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna try and flip this. Maybe I can't do that actually. I was gonna try and do an EVA, store his stuff on board, and then take a surface sample, but I don't know. I don't want to risk anything going wrong here because there's a lot of science I can recover from this. And one thing I missed on the last 4 previous episodes, because I actually recorded those all at once, is you can do this. Recover vessel from right here. Saves a little bit of time from going to the Space Center. So 93 science out of that. That's pretty damn good. And we can probably get two of these because I think they're 45 apiece. So this is a must right here. Pretty much more communication power and the ability to get a lot more science out of a mission with the can collect materials with this. Let's see what other stage we're gonna pick too though. Well, let's just grab it right now. This tank is good to have actually. It's not too much better though. It's not like a great improvement over the one that I'm using right now. I really don't know what this is. This is tri-coupler. This won't separate stages though. I don't know. Actually, I think I'm going to go for this though, because this inline reaction wheel, it helps stabilize your vehicle and gives you more control. And this other cockpit right here is pretty good too. Do we have side parachute? Yeah, okay. Radial mount parachute. If you're using this, you wanna have the side parachute, because when you land your pod on the ground, if you have one parachute, it kind of is only good for if you just have the capsule, like the command pod. If you have this underneath you, it could potentially blow it up. So good to have the side parachutes for that. Okay, so let's research this. And that's it for this episode. Next episode, yeah, we'll put some of this stuff to use, make a bigger rocket, and possibly have a lander for the moon. We can transmit a lot of that stuff back with, we put enough batteries on it. Still not a really good way to recharge this. We'll have that when we get the solar panels here. But until then, thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you next episode.